All right, in example 3, I'm provided with both my pre-image and my image. I have quadrilateral PQRS and then quadrilateral P prime, Q prime, R prime, S prime. What it's asking me to find out is this an enlargement or a reduction? So from PQRS, which is the blue one, to the green one with the primes. So I'm going to figure out if it's getting larger or smaller. Visually, yes, we can tell, but you need to know how to tell just by points. So I'm just going to look and compare some of the points. I have P, which is at negative 2, 5, and Q, which is at 4, 2. And then P prime is at negative 1, 2.5. And Q prime is at 2, 1. So I want you to look at these. Is it getting smaller? Is it getting larger? What's the scale factor? So let's take a look at trying to find the scale factor. So if I look from P to P prime, I'm going to erase that for a second. If you're going from negative 2, 5 to having some sort of R, so what R would I multiply both of these by to end up with negative 1, 2.5? So what times negative 2 would be negative 1? What times 5 would equal 2.5 or 2.5? Well, it looks to me like that scale factor, I'm going to put SF over here on the side for scale factor, is 1/2. So remember, if your shape is getting smaller, it equals a reduction. And that happens when your scale factor is less than 0, or not less than 0, is less than 1. So it's like a fraction or a decimal, it's going to be a reduction. If it's larger, it's going to be an enlargement. And that's going to be whenever your scale factor is greater than 1. So keep that in mind. So this one being a scale factor of 1/2, this is definitely a reduction. Let's take a look at one more. Going to find the scale factor here. I have B and B prime. I have both of these quadrilaterals, A, B, C, D, and A prime, B prime, C prime, D prime. So I'm going to look at one point. I really don't need to do more than that. So I'm going to look at B, which is at, here's my origin. I don't need to write origin. I could just write 0, 0. So B is at 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And so there's going to be some sort of 2 times R and 4 times R. That's going to result in B prime, which is at 3, 6. So you can set this up as an equation if you'd like and do 2R equals 3 or 4R equals 6. Either way works. Divide by 2 or divide by 4, divide by 4. And R is going to be equal to 3 over 2. It works for both of them. So I have a scale factor of 3 over 2 or 1.5. Is that larger than 1, guys? Yes, it is. So this is an enlargement. All right. I just have one more to look at. Slightly trickier than the previous ones. So we're trying to solve for the value of x and figure out what the scale factor is. So I know I have a full side length of 10. And I know w to w prime is 4. So what would that make x? Well, that would make x 6. 10 minus 4 is 6. So x is equal to 6. And then to figure out the scale factor, I'm going to take x, which is that side length, and multiply it by a scale factor to get 10. We know x is now 6 times that scale factor. And you can say scale factor, you can say r, whatever you want to use to represent that number is fine. Equals 10. We're going to divide both sides by 6. So our scale factor is equal to 10 over 6, which reduces to 5 over 3. So our scale factor was 5 over 3.